Amanda, welcome back to my channel. I'm bringing you another installment of Clone Wars that I'm doing with my friend Jessica here on YouTube. What this is kind of like your shop your stash dupe videos that we're doing with popular palettes or really expensive palettes that are out there on the market to maybe help you go ahead and curb your spending. That way you don't run out to get every single palette that's out there. And it also helps us too. This one is the Natasha Denona Lila palette, which is, I believe, $129, which is just insanity. It's insanity. And so we decided to go ahead and dupe this palette for you guys. I know Jessica's really interested in this palette, so hopefully between what she has and what I have, it helps her and it helps you. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a picture somewhere on the screen of the shades, and then I'm going to start from the bottom row all the way to the top. So I'm going to start with Juno 145S, and for that one I am going into my MAC Purple Times 9 palette, and I am going with this shade right here, which is Man Catcher. MAC tends to not swatch very well, but it's so beautiful on the eyes most of the time. So that is what that looks like. And the next one, it's called Livid 146 DC, and that also comes from my MAC Burgundy Times 9 palette, and it is the shade right next to it, and it is called Satellite Dreams. And that's what that looks like. The next shade is called Pur Pure 147M, and for that I am going into my Vice 4 palette. And for that I am going for this shade right here, which is called 1985. And it's that shade right there. The next one was sort of a little tough for me, and it is called Dragon Bite 148 DC, and for that I chose this Makeup Geek eyeshadow right here, and it is called Ritzy. And that's it right there. And then for the last one in that row is called Helio 149M, and for that I'm going into my Naked 3 palette. And for that I'm going into this shade right here, which is called Liar, and that's what that looks like right there. So this is the first row. The next row, the first shade is called Lila 140M, and for that I'm going into my Vice 4 palette again, and I am going with this shade right here, which is called Delete. It's that one right there. And then the next one I had a lot of issues with as well, as far as finding something, and the closest thing that I could get is for Amethyst 141M. It's from my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and it is this shade right here, Candied Violet. The only thing is with Candied Violet, you have to really build it up. That's what that looks like. Next one is called Magnetic 142M, and for that I went into my Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, and I am choosing this shade right here, which is Totally Fetch. And that's what that looks like. The next shade is called Magnolia 143K, and for that I am going into my Zoeva Caramel Melange palette, and I'm going with this shade right here, Liquid Center. Which is that shade right there. The last shade in that row is called Nude Mauve 144 cm, and for that I went with my Carly Bible Deluxe palette. And I am going with this shade right here. And that's what that looks like. So this right here is the second row. Now for the last row, the first one is called Per Se 135 cm, and for that I'm going into my MAC Purple Times 9 palette, and I am going with this shade right here, and it is called Bon Nude. That's what that looks like. Again, MAC shadows, they don't necessarily swatch very well. The next one is Viola 136M, and that comes from my Marc Jacobs palette. This is the one that I got at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. And I am going with this shade right here. That's going over that twice. And then the next one is called Amara 137 cm, and I'm going into my Carly Bible palette. This is the original palette, and I am going in with this shade right here. Which is that right there. The next one is called Cyclone 138 DC, and for that I'm going into my Vice 3 palette, and I am going with this shade right here, which is called Alchemy. That's what that looks like. And then for the last one, it is called Nude Vino, and that is CM. And that is coming from my Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. And I am choosing this shade right here, which is called Bordeaux, which is that shade right there. So hopefully this helps you out. Be sure to go ahead and check out Jessica's channel. She goes ahead and she'll probably do a lot of coastal scents, which I know appeals to a lot of people. So be sure to go ahead and check her out. So be sure to go ahead and leave comments below on which palette you want us to do next. And have a wonderful day. Bye.